In this part, Michael, Flavia and I will talk about submitting FAIR data to PANGAEA. First, I will present how PANGAEA implements the FAIR principles, how to cite data, and how the PANGAEA data model is structured. Then Flavia will talk about how to prepare your data for PANGAEA. And finally, Michael will guide you through the data submission process. So how does PANGAEA implement the FAIR principles? FAIR is for findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. PANGAEA is a searchable database, and each dataset receives a persistent identifier, a DOI, from DataCite. The PANGAEA record is rich in metadata and also links to references, for example, to articles that make use of the data published at PANGAEA, and the European Nucleotide Archive, which keeps the sequences related to this dataset, and, for example, to funding information. In this case, it is funding from the European Commission. Here we see more metadata. Under events information, you can find the georeferences, so latitude, longitude, date, time, campaign information, the basis, the methods, and also the location itself. Also, you can find a full parameter list, so it can be easily deduced what was measured, where, and when. Here's another example for linking to other databases. In this case, it's the World Register of Marine Species, which holds taxonomic information. So by clicking on this link right there, or on the taxonomic name, you will be taken right to this database. Scrolling further down in the dataset, you will find license information, and you can view the dataset directly online. Also, you can download the dataset in a broadly applicable language, so it can be reused in the long term, as there's no proprietary software needed to open text files. PANGAEA data are interoperable, which means that the data or the metadata can be harvested by other services. Here's an example of the ICES metadata catalog, so the catalog of the International Council of the Exploration of the Seas, and they keep a subset of PANGAEA data also in their metadata catalog. You can publish code and modeling data in a fair way by submitting it to GitHub, and then this reference can be included in a PANGAEA record that is related to these data. Time-wise, it's important to submit these data before you submit the manuscript to the journal, so you can include the data citation in the paper. Here you see how to cite data. We see an online view of a research article, and in this example, the journal format includes a data availability statement. So there is an in-text citation, which is exactly the same as literature citations with the author and the year in brackets. And here you can also see that the PANGAEA records are part of the reference list and that they are cited in full. In the second example, the journal format does not include a data availability statement. So here is the data citation included at the end of the methods section. And this case is even better because there is the in-text citation of the author and year, and also the PANGAEA DOI link included. And on this side, you also see that the full reference is included in the reference list. So to improve the findability of your data, it is best practice to submit data to PANGAEA when submitting the manuscript to the journal at the latest. So let's talk about the PANGAEA Data Model. It consists of 4 major tables, which are called project, campaign, event, and data, and a number of minor tables, which are award, institution, basis, location, method, device, attributes, keywords, awards, references, staff, method, and parameters. PANGAEA is a relational database, which means that, for example, staff information can be used in several places within the database. So we only have to enter a record once and then can use it, for example, in the campaign, where we use staff information about chief scientists, in references as paper authors, and also as dataset authors. The challenge in database systems is to harmonize new information with already existing information in the database. For this, we use persistent identifiers whenever possible. So, for example, as award information, then the raw IDs for the institutions, ORCID IDs for authors, and I've also mentioned the WORMS and INA accession numbers and life science IDs. And of course, we use DOIs for journal articles.